Remember high school and how brutally difficult it can be to get up and go every day, try to get through some of the cringiest moments of your life, and how important sport and physical exercise was back then for getting some of that energy out and helping you feel like you actually wanted to go to school. There's a new program aiming to make life easier for a large cohort of Indigenous kids at Ballina Coast High, and it starts next week. It's the National Aboriginal Sporting Chance Academy. It's going to be embedded at Ballina Coast High School, and it'll be working with 75 female Indigenous students to help them succeed in high school and beyond. Let's find out how the program works. Our reporter Hannah Ross spoke to the new team leader, Abbey Orcher.
The gist of what we do is we basically provide wraparound support for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander young people so that they can thrive at school and obviously post-school as well. Our academies embed themselves within the school, so we have usually have space there, and we create a safe place for young women to kind of come, and just an added layer of support for the students at the school. So we have an agreement with the school that allows us to have our own space within the school, whether that's a classroom or, usually it's just kind of like a demountable where the kids, we provide, a food program and a bus program and things like that. So we're not teachers as such, but we enter into the classroom with our kids. We work alongside them to kind of basically get them over the line. So our goal is obviously retention, but NASCA has other parts to it, like the Pathways program. So looking at opportunities beyond school as well.
Are all the programs the same in every school? What will you be bringing to Ballina High?
So we are kicking off in term 4 for Ballina Coast. I'll have 75 young women in the program that already attend that school. Our young people are smart, talented, strong, but many face barriers that make it hard to succeed. So with the right support and connection to culture, they can excel. So we do our best to build or act as a bridge of communication between student and school. So, when our young people are having issues or whatever the case may be, they have someone there that can advocate and walk alongside them, in their difficult days.
Why did you choose Ballina High? I mean, what criteria makes you decide to go into a school?
Obviously, Ballina Coast has, quite a large quantity of young Aboriginal people. And I guess the school identified a need, and then obviously they've kind of looked into us. We have academies further down the North Coast, so in Kempsey, all the way to far west in Brewarrina. So, the things that we do and the results that we're getting in those areas, they're starting to obviously be a little bit more showcased and more known.
Can you describe for me what you think the state of education is like for young Aboriginal people in mainstream schools, and why there's a need to have this extra layer of support?
It wasn't too long ago that I was sitting in a classroom dealing with a lot of the things that these young people deal with, and I think it just boils down to, for me as an individual, as a student, it's mainstream school is sometimes it was never made for us. It was never something that, that's not historically how we learnt or, how we kind of did things. And, there's always this constant kind of struggle with students settling in and, trying to understand the doors that school can open as well. So, yeah, I'd say that's why we're in schools, to strengthen Indigenous education and walking alongside our young people and just trying to empower them to thrive and succeed in those areas, even if they don't feel like it's a place for them.
Is there a concern that it might create a segregation?
I guess the proof is really in the reports, and the statistics. Non-Indigenous kids are having a much better or much more success when it comes to school because they're set up for those kinds of things from a really early age. Whereas with our young Indigenous people, it's, myself, as a young person, it just was never seen as a priority. It was never, pushed for me to finish school, or, there was no real understanding of the importance of the doors that it can open once you graduate, once you leave. The spaces that we create and provide for young Indigenous women inside school, they're key, and they're key for success, and it gives us the space, empower them to thrive and succeed just like their non-Indigenous classmates. You know, their Aboriginality doesn't turn off when they leave their communities. They are black fellas through and through, and it's something that we all connect on, and it's something that has proven to be the thing that gets them through the door.
Abbey Orcher there from the National Aboriginal Sporting Chance Academy, which will be embedding itself at Ballina Coast High School, working with the Indigenous kids there. She was speaking to our reporter, Hannah Ross.